Hey folks, welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. You know, in a world of gloom and doom, it's often difficult to find the good news stories, the heartwarming stories, the things that just put a smile on your face. But I've got a chance to tell you one of those stories today in a follow-up of a video I did just a few days ago. Really exciting stuff. This story covered by the Independent Line came from the Cape Argus, and the author, once again, is the journalist Tracy-Lynn Reuters. And she writes a heartwarming story here about little Zoe. Now, Zoe is a 4-year-old girl who was born prematurely, and a consequence and complications from her premature birth, she was born deaf and unable to hear, and has not heard her entire life so far. As she's getting ready to go to school, and she can't speak because she doesn't have that ability to hear, so she's having difficulty. Her mother needed to raise about 32,000 Rand to pay for an operation. Now, I've seen these operations, I've seen these videos where infants and small children have these operations. They've been deaf since birth, and they're able to restore their hearing, or bring them hearing. And it's amazing and heartwarming to watch these videos when these children, for the first time ever, hear the voice of their mother, and they just light up. It's brilliant. So when I read this initial story in the Independent Line, that was kind of heartbreaking, and I was kind of sad. But I included in my news broadcast because it was a story of someone trying to make things better. Her mom using a backup buddy, which in South Africa is similar to GoFundMe here in the States, to raise money from donors who would like to help her child gain the gift of hearing. I can't imagine not being able to hear. Although I'll be honest, there's some people I'd rather not hear, but not having the ability to hear this amazing world around us, the birds that you hear in the background here, kids across the street rolling around with little toys, I can't even imagine that. So this poor little child has been in silence, and these operations tend to be successful. The amount of money is relatively insignificant for the ability to hear. So I'm so excited that we put this story in my news broadcast, and I made an appeal to my audience. I don't know little Zoe, I don't know her mom, Tracy Olafari, but it was a heartwarming story, heart-wrenching story actually. And so I challenged my audience, made a donation, and people came through. And in just less than 30 minutes, the entire amount was raised. It was unbelievable. So the journalist wrote a follow-up story. I want to read some of this to you. It's just, I don't often read news stories directly to you in front of camera, but I'm going to do that because this isn't the entire story, but some of the key points here. It's just amazing. 35,000 Rand in 30 minutes. The world rallies to help little Zoe. Here for the first time. Tracy-Lynn Reuters. Now the good news, folks, is an appointment's already been booked with an audiologist for June 17th, just ahead of the new school term. It marks the beginning of a long-awaited journey for Zoe, who's never been able to hear since birth, and in turn affected her speech. Now there's other parts of the story here, not just the donors that gave money. Jermaine Carlsey is a spokesman for the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Services, immediately reached out after reading the Weekend Argus, the story about Zoe. He offered her a personal tour of the Goodwood Fire Station, which is her favorite place. That's interesting. Goodwood Fire Station's where she went, and she got a tour. It's pretty cool. Her mother, Tracy, said that she wants to stay transparent about the donation and keep those who support it updated. So she's launched a YouTube channel where she'll document Zoe's journey from the diagnosis to treatment, and hopefully to the moment she hears for the first time. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. She says, I want people to see where the money is going. I want them to feel a part of this journey. It's their kindness that made it possible. So she recounts how she found out that the campaign had reached the goal. She'd set it up just 3 days prior. We'd only found out about it that day from the Independent Line story, which was originally published in the Cape Argus. And so we told the story, and people responded with their hearts. She said, I just left the office, and the campaign had only hit 1,100 Rand. My faith was low. I told myself I wouldn't keep checking because I just stressed myself out. Then I got a call from my mom. She said, Tracy, we made it. Go and look. When I saw that we'd gone over the target, I just cried. I was laughing, crying, silent, everything at once. She said, even Zoe's older sister, who's just 8 years old, was moved to tears. She said she's so excited to finally hear her sister's voice. We just held each other and cried. So Tracy, the mom, says to every single person who donated, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've done more than help my daughter here. You've shown us love, hope, and humanity. I apologize, folks. I'm a little choked up, but it's a good news story. Now, let's hope the diagnosis is successful, that the operation goes well, and Zoe gets to hear for the first time. It'd be amazing. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine the kindness of strangers change a child's entire world, her entire life, her entire future? Isn't that amazing? People can be crap, but sometimes people can be wonderful. What say you, South Africa? What say you, world? Cheers, and God bless.